Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized to you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Jerry Mangona, your Edward Jones financial advisor. I live here in Corktown, just a few blocks from the Daily Detroit studios, and when we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We'll use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner together to help your strategy stay on track. Contact me toll-free today at 866-975-8655. Again, that's 866-975-8655. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Happy Valentine's Day and welcome to your Daily Detroit. It is February 14th, 2025. I am Jer, stays coming to you from our studio at Tech Town. Across the table from me is none other than Man About Town, Mr. Friday, Devon O'Reilly. How are you?
Hey there, Jared. It's a Friday. It's Valentine's Day. Do you celebrate? I feel like Valentine's Day is one of those manufactured holidays, but people like to get into it depending on their situation in life.
I consider it a weekend target. Because Valentine's Day can end up on some crazy days.
That's true.
And it being a Friday, I'll be honest, there's two things. The crowds are going to be crazy for the actual day. But then number two, it's hard for me to giddy up on a Friday anymore.
Yeah.
I have to recover a little bit and be like, okay, I can lean into a full Saturday, or I can do I can stretch goal and go for the Friday, and then Saturday I'm unable, or I can rest on Friday and then Saturday lean in.
Well, I hope that people have made their Valentine's plans already if they do have them, because as you alluded to, restaurants will be booked. Don't bother trying to get a reservation, I'm sure, at any of our esteemed establishments on a Friday or especially a Saturday. So yeah, I hope you made plans ahead of time.
A big pro move I have found over the years, if you can go early, if you're okay with an earlier dinner,
I love it.
It is so easy to get reservations comparatively.
I have found that quite helpful now that I, have moved into like the 5 p.m.-ish dinner time, that it does become easier. It still gets busy at some of the hot spots, but early dinner definitely helps. But you're right, it kind of gives you 2 days to celebrate Valentine's. And I hope that everyone does. But again, not everyone does, because I remember, Jer, there was a time, not that long ago in my life that I was single for Valentine's Days, probably more than a few Valentine's Days, and then I just didn't even care about it. So maybe our single listeners may just let this day pass without even acknowledging it, and that's okay too.
Well, I believe Norris is doing speed dating.
Dating on Valentine's Day, that's a
speed dating event.
That's a move. Okay. And I have heard also like Galentine's Days. I mean, that's a thing, right? I don't know what you would call it if it's like a Dudentine's Days. I don't know.
So engineer Randy Walker and friend of the show, Bob Walton Spiel. By the way, Bob, thank you for the new microphone arms that are here at the studio. They look slick.
These are quality arms.
These are something we would never be able to purchase for ourselves. So thank you very much, Bob. But Bob and Randy went to a dive bar Valentine's event over at the Carbon Athletic Club.
That's cool. That's one way to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Bro-entines?
Yeah, I know. There's not a good one. See, Galentine's fit so well. I don't know what like a Bro-entines is, but
I did want to ask you, though, you've been married a little bit now, a minute. You've also got a kid. Do you still keep Valentine's going?
Yes, I do. It was never like a big thing for us. It was always kind of like, yeah, this is just an extra day. I mean, I'm proud of the fact that we were always a couple, surprise, surprise. If anyone knows who I am, we went out a lot. We went on, we were always going out on dates and new restaurants. So it wasn't a big thing to go out to a new restaurant for Valentine's Day. So that was never a big deal. But having a child, it's kind of fun because you get to do activities with them. We'll make some Valentine's Day. We'll make some Valentines. We'll paint. We'll, make stuff for grandmas and stuff. So yes, I think I celebrate Valentine's Day now more than I ever have, frankly.
I wanted to ask you, because this building is empty today, and it's not because there's a lack of tenants or anything like that. We are recording this a little early to get this out on Friday morning for you guys. And there's a lot of snow. And I feel like this is a different wave than I was younger. I'm feeling like old man yelling at clouds, and I'm trying not to be that person where, okay, well, we just got to get into work.
This wasn't that bad. I mean, if you're listening to this, the snow has already fallen. I know we're supposed to get another batch Saturday, but as we're sitting here, the snow has fallen, the dust has settled, so to speak. And I'm thinking we're probably like at 4 to 5 inches.
That. Yeah.
I mean, that's not that bad. It's not.
Really? Okay, so you're saying 4 to 5 is not that bad.
I shoveled this morning.
So did I.
So I can tell you how bad it was. It was fine. It was just a normal snow. It wasn't like so thick you couldn't move it. I wasn't just getting myself covered in snow. It was fine. You know, the main roads were plowed pretty well. We got the salt trucks out on like the main thoroughfares. I won't speak to Detroit. I don't live there anymore.
Plowing is, depending on where you are in the city, plowing is merely a suggestion.
But as a fun fact you learn is, you know, obviously there's city roads and there's county roads, and Wayne County does a pretty good job. The county roads, Michigan Avenue, Ford Road.
Oh, once you get to Woodward, once I got to Woodward, everything was fine. But my neighborhood, I literally had to shovel a path to the vehicle.
So I've been on all those roads in 94. It's fine. The roads are fine, Jerry. And I think that's what we're getting to is like, what is a snow day? I get it's fun to take off a snow day from school, or maybe as a parent, that means you have to stay home with your kids, which not as fun. But the point is like, there was nothing impeding me from getting to work. It's not like it was more difficult today than a day when it's raining or a day when it's really cold. Like, I just got here in a normal time, and I was not impeded by the elements because the snow had already fallen and the snow was plowed.
I'm interested in your thoughts because producer Cheyenne off on Thursday because she's going to have to watch both kids' schools were canceled. I'm editing the show because she can't, like the kids' school got canceled. And I remember when I was younger, maybe people drive more to school or something like that, but snow days were exceedingly rare back in like the 80s and 90s to me.
They were exceedingly rare, and I don't want to get down a climate change wormhole, but I want to go somewhere. I also think they were exceedingly rare because it also snowed in general a lot more. And so then the big ones you did have a snow day for. So like I would love data on how many, 4+, 5+ inch snows Michigan gets in the last few years versus what they did in, the mid 90s, because it feels like when we had a snow day, and I don't even know when the last time we got, 8+ inches of snow here was.
I feel like I'm barely using boots nowadays. And like when I was a kid, this was probably before your time. I had the color changing boots.
No, I don't have.
Remember when they'd be warm or cold and they would like change colors?
It sounds cool.
It was very cool. I don't know what inappropriate chemicals and things were in it. I would love to hear your thoughts. dailydetroit@gmail.com because, everybody's life's a little bit different. I'm here. We're here. I literally don't have a plowed street, yet I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, you had to brave some elements. Both of us shoveled snow. I had to get my daughter to her grandmother's house and off to work, but it was a normal work day. I mean, what about, for me, stuff continues. You can cancel because of snow. I don't get it, but sure.
There's been some development news in your neck of the woods that I want to talk about because it is something that will be a transformational project for a piece of architecture that you can't miss. You can't miss the golden former Hyatt Regency Hotel. The Dearborn Planning Commission approved this redevelopment that would turn this 18-story building into about half apartments and half hotel rooms. So 258 apartments, 216 hotel rooms. There'll be a pair of restaurants and a lounge on the 16th floor that used to be apparently in the space that used to be the Rotunda Ballroom, which I'm not familiar with.
That's the big rotating thing on top. It's
okay.
Amazing.
So that rotating,
it's the hat. I always pictured it as it's a hat on top of the Hyatt. That's the rotating restaurant.
You're telling me this place had a rotating restaurant and a monorail?
Heck yeah, man.
All right, you're the Dearborn guy. Take it.
It was built in the late 70s during the tenure of John B. O'Reilly Sr., the mayor at the time. Maybe some relation there. And it was state of the art at the time. As you said, it had a monorail. It had a revolving restaurant, much like the Renaissance Center. Very Portman-esque in its design. I'm hoping that I'm proven wrong, but unfortunately, I do believe that it no longer rotates. However, I went to a New Year's party when it was still open in, I believe, 2013, and that thing was rotating. That was moving. So it was rotating. It was rotating as recently as 2013, which I know was a while ago, but still, I don't think it does anymore. But I love that they're going to put a lounge up there. You have to. It's such a beautiful space. Can I tell you, Jer, if you're up on the 16th floor, you imagine, Dearborn's mostly flat. There's some tall buildings. But if you're up on the 16th floor in a building in Dearborn, the vistas that you see, because you can look all the way up to Southfield and see to Birmingham and beyond. You can see to Troy. You can see all the way downtown easily. You get some beautiful views from that lounge that I hope is open to the public. I assume it will be. This was very positive news because let's talk about this. The Hyatt's in the news a lot. We talk about it a lot. I see it in Cranes a lot. It's been bad news for the last almost 10 years. Defaulting, going into bankruptcy, seizures. The U.S. Marshals were involved at one point. There's this Chinese investor. So all the news has really been bad. And I think there's been some drips of good news, and people kind of have poo-pooed it and said, no, it's, whatever. Sure. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But things are really moving along now. I mean, we're talking about the Planning Commission has approved the plans. There are real tangible plans. I note that the investor in the property has paid off the back taxes, $600,000+ in back taxes. So he's putting money into it. Now, there is going to be millions, tens of millions of dollars that are going to be needed in capital to actually renovate this hotel. But I know some people who have been inside it in the last 6 months. And from what I've heard, for how long it's been closed, it is in very good shape.
That's the importance of keeping a place sealed.
Yeah. It hasn't been breached. It's not like there's wind coming in like we see some of these other ruins where there's elements. It's been sealed. And I understand it's in very good shape. It's still going to take a lot of money because think about, Jer, the numbers you mentioned. This was a 700+ room hotel that's now going to go down to, I think it was 200 and something. 216 hotel rooms and like 300 something apartments, right?
250+.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to have to downsize the rooms, which I think things will get bigger. So you have bigger hotel rooms, bigger apartments. So that's going to take a lot to retrofit that. But I love that it's going to be hotel and apartments because I think it would be hard to fit. You can't do just apartments. That's way too many. You can't do just hotel. That's way too big. Love the mix. I love the fact. I mean, it's huge, Jer. I mean, it's hard to talk about to someone who hasn't been here before. It's like a little city inside. It's like a resort inside. There could be multiple restaurants in there. There are multiple cafes. There is a whole convention center aspect that we haven't even talked about yet. And I think that's a phase 2 of this plan is there's this grand plan for what we're calling Midtown in Dearborn, which is the Fairlane and the collar of Fairlane area there. The idea would be to bring back a real convention center with a hotel and maybe that monorail again to connect to Fairlane and some of the other areas around there. So I think this is really positive news. My mind is spinning with all the amazing things that can happen, but we got to start somewhere. And the plan being approved, the renderings look really amazing. And I'm just excited about the development of this because it's been vacant too long. And it really is a regional asset. I mean, it's not just Dearborn. You're talking about one of the largest hotels, one of the largest structures outside of downtown Detroit in Wayne County.
Dearborn is a business powerhouse. People don't think about it that way, but between Ford, between all the money, we talked about the new housing going up in Dearborn. Dearborn really is an economic center unto itself, but also the location of this hotel means if you want to go to an event downtown or something, if there is a shuttle connected to it, which of course there will be right by the hotel at least, easy to get down there. I think.
Oh, yes. Very easy on the corridor, Michigan Avenue corridor, 94. You got Southfield to 96. Hey, I know this area because I drive it, but yes.
The other thing I think about is this area of Dearborn has been seeing some struggles as of late. This could be a good catalyst to light that back up.
Yeah, there was a lot of big commercial buildings over in that area that have been kind of emptied out. Visteon was there for a long time. A lot of the commercial space along there has kind of been emptied out, and there's not a lot of residential in that area right now. They're building some residential, and obviously this will go to that. But you've got some great assets. You've got University of Michigan Dearborn there. You've got the Fairlane Estate there. You've got Henry Ford College there. So you have some really interesting adjacent assets. And I think that, from a convenience aspect, you alluded to it, who's this going to be for? I think young professionals, people who are either going to school at the colleges or young professionals who maybe work in even South Oakland County. Think about it. It's right off Southfield. You could be at Southfield in 15, you can be in Oakland County in 15 minutes, and you could be in downtown Detroit in 15 minutes. I think that'll be appealing for a lot of people who are maybe looking for more affordable options than living in Birmingham or in Royal Oak or downtown Detroit.
And it really goes to that idea that Metro Detroit is now a polycentric region.
I'm hoping that is exactly what's happening.
Many centers as opposed to just one.
That's what we hope to have. And then, some ways to get around. Well, I know that our listeners love that. So this is just part of that big, big grand puzzle.
Let's go to the east side of Detroit.
All right, let's do it. That's fair. We've talked enough Dearborn. Let's go to the east side.
Let's talk about a new cocktail bar.
I love that.
I have some preliminary details. They were shared on social media. We also put it on our newsletter on dailydetroit.com. It is called Father Forgive Me, and it's coming this spring to the east side. They call it the Little Village neighborhood. I don't remember it as Little Village. My grandmother from Indian Village, my uncles lived right near there. So to me, I don't remember Little Village. To me, we're near English Village and East Village, which I know is confusing for people because there's also an East English Village.
Yeah.
There could be some better clarity with the names here.
Yeah, we're
We're like
looking
across from Waterworks.
Waterworks Park, Pewabic Pottery. You're just south of Kercheval, just north of Jefferson, just east of Indian Village. Like, you're just tucked right in there. It's a booming area, though. There's a lot of development that's happening. I think of what else is over there. There's
you're really near the Great Water Homes, so single family homes that they're building.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot's happening there. The Shepherd is becoming a real kind of core anchor of this area for arts and culture. So I love what's happening here. What else do we know about this, Father Forgive Me?
Well, it's part of the Shepherd complex.
Oh, okay, great.
So the renderings are cool. It's understated, which I appreciate. It seems to have a really good outdoor vibe, as well as the indoor renderings for the bar are very sumptuous. I don't want to call it luxe. Lots of wood, but more not rustic. I'm trying to figure out where to triangulate this a little bit.
Does it kind of pick up the vibe of the Shepherd? Like, if you've been to the Shepherd, does it carry that vibe a little bit?
I think to an extent. It's something you can go check out the renderings on dailydetroit.com. Go click 9 things to know for February 12th, 2025, because I put it in the newsletter. The idea is a wine and cocktail bar, outdoor fire pits, outdoor places to sit, an indoor place that has sumptuous wood on one side, and then I see glass walls on the other side. So it's indoor, outdoor space. No more details than that for now. I'm excited to see it because we need more places to bring people together. These are the kinds of things that will attract even more people to areas like this where you could have a walkable space. There's also I apologize if I'm saying wrong, Aleo is right there, which is like the bed and breakfast situation. Okay. So this is interesting.
Yeah, Ivy Kitchen and Cocktails. Love them. Shout them out. That's right over there as well. Stone's throw away. So this is cool. It's great. It's harder for me to get out to the east side. Call me lazy, call me whatever.
We'll drag you out there.
But for something like this, I can get out there. I look forward to going when I can actually sit outside, which at this point doesn't mean much. I'll be outside in 50 degrees. I'm ready. 50 degrees, forget it. Patio time.
I want you to make a prediction then.
Okay.
Because on 313 Day, next month, we are doing our first Daily Detroit Trivia event.
Almost exactly 1 month from today.
Almost exactly 1 month. Do you think we'll be closer to 50 degrees?
Wait, do I think we'll be close to 50 degrees?
Closer.
Yes, we'll be closer to 50 degrees. We will be in the 40s. We'll be in the mid 40s. How about that?
All right. Well, we are still nailing down the venue. I think I know where it's going to be.
Okay.
I think I know it's going to be somewhere in the greater downtown area.
Good enough.
But we need to make sure that the I's are dotted and T's are crossed before I announce it. But put it in your calendars, trivia night for Daily Detroit. We'll also try to put together a live show.
That can be fun. Love a good live show.
Well, for now, I'm Jer Stays.
I'm Devon O'Reilly.
Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend, however you choose to celebrate or not. And we will talk again on Monday.